Brighton on the south coast of England for the first in a brand new weekly series of live boxing on ProBox. Brighton, of course, one of the most famous holiday towns in Europe. Famous, well, not for its weather today, that's pretty iffy, but for its pier, the sea breezes, the stylish hotels, the pebble beach, the pavilion, and one or two other things beside. But we're tonight concerned not with the seagulls and not with the clouds, but with boxing, the WBC International middleweight title, Eubank against Milo. Good evening and welcome to ringside at the Brighton Conference Centre. I'm David Brenner, sitting alongside me is Jim McDonnell, and we're here for the first in what promises to be a really sparkling series of ProBox, featuring the best and the brightest young British boxers around today. Well, what a show starter we have lined up for you. The WBC International middleweight title, Chris Eubank, undefeated, fighting in his own backyard against the challenger from Birmingham, Kid Milo. If Eubank wins tonight, the next step could well be a shot for the real world title itself. In addition to Eubank against Milo, a good undercard. Johnny Nelson from Sheffield, the British cruiserweight champion, against the southpaw American Andre Boss Smith from San Diego in California. Herbie Hyde, the dancing destroyer from Norwich. 4 fights, 4 wins. He's only had 1 fight so far this year, having injured his hand back in December. We saw that at the Royal Albert Hall back in June. Tonight, Hyde goes for 5 out of 5. And another local boy, Timmy Harmey, against Mike Morrison of Pembroke. Mike Morrison, a ProBox regular, never has the best of luck. Tonight, he's out to chain back. And welcome back, live to the Brighton Conference Centre, where we come now to the main event of the evening. Chris Eubank against Kid Milo over 12 rounds for the WBC International middleweight title. Perhaps, if Eubank wins, a stepping stone to a world title fight. It's no secret that efforts are being made to match it with Nigel Benn, and that could be some fight. Into the ring, challenger, Kid Milo. Biggest fight night of his life. Just one inside the distance defeat. Against Tommy Shields back in '88, and that incidentally was the last time that he was beaten. On a 5-fight winning streak since then.
That's no disgrace losing to Tommy Shields. Real good prospect and real good puncher at the time. So he was a real good fighter.
A lot of people reckon, a lot of the punters reckon that Milo is the sort of man who could cause Eubank 1 or 2 problems. He's certainly not going to be overawed by his reputation.
I'm sure he's fired up for it. I see him spar at Romford with Chris Eubank. So obviously he's not going to be an older man. He's been in there in the ring with him before. He's got punches with a guy. He's trained for this fight like he's never trained for over 6 weeks in America. I'm sure he's going to go for it with both hands.
Now here's Eubank, who's rapidly building up the sort of reputation as the man you love to hate.
Coming to his famous record of simply the best.
That's what he likes to think of himself as. And as we know from past experience, Eubank will vault over the top of this 4-strand ring. And he will be in a world of his own, cocooned in an ironclad fire, concentration, the likes of which that I've rarely seen in the ring. Almost oblivious to crowd, to everything. Just concentrating on the task at hand.
Looks in great shape, though. Milo really does. He's geared up mentally as well.
Eubank certainly not averse to a few little tricks, keeping his man waiting, which gives me the chance to tell you, this being fought under the WBC rules, we have 3 all-British officials. Larry O'Connell will be the man in the ring. 2 ringside judges will score, Nicky Van and Adrian Morgan. As this is a WBC title fight, no fractions, 10 points for the winner of a round, 9 or 8 to the loser. Milo getting more fired up at the moment. Still no sign of Chris Eubank.
I wonder if this is a direct ploy on Chris's part.
I think I would lay a lot of money on that, Jim.
Here comes Mr. Eubank now. It's a great reception from the Brighton crowd.
Led in by the championship belt, Barry Hearn, following him in. And as I say, you will see Eubank vault over the top strand. There he goes.
My lords and ladies and gentlemen, we now come to the main attraction of the evening, promoted by Matchroom and sponsored by Storm Seal. We are proud to present a middleweight contest at 11 stone 6 pounds over 12 rounds, each of 3 minutes duration, for the WBC International middleweight title. All your officials this evening are appointed by the World Boxing Council. Your judges for the contest are Nicky Van of Leeds and Adrian Morgan of Wales. Your timekeeper is Jeff Williams of Brighton, and your referee, Larry O'Connell of Hartley. Your supervisor is John Morris. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing and presenting in the red corner, with the black shorts, with 13 wins from 17 contests, from Birmingham, the challenger for the title, Kid Milo! And his opponent in the blue corner, with the white shorts, with 22 wins from 22 contests, and defending his title from Brighton, Chris Eubank. Ladies and gentlemen, at the weigh-in at 1 o'clock today, Kid Milo scaled 11 stone 4 pounds, Chris Eubank 11 stone 6 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you.
Eubank was a couple of ounces over at the weigh-in, had to just literally drop his drawers to make the weight. Larry O'Connell reading the rules. Kid Milo, incidentally, real name Winston Walters.
Eubank means business, Dave.
Certainly does.
I noticed these
Milo, a
guys,
sort of boyhood nickname from his family.
you know, these guys have sparred together, and I think Milo already knows it's going to be different because Eubank refuses to touch gloves there.
And as is his custom, Eubank just strolls out of his corner. Almost like a snake charmer.
And this is for real now. Milo will be thinking back to them sparring sessions in Rumford, trying to think what he can remember about them. I don't think they'll matter tonight.
O'Connell nearly getting knocked down in the rush.
I'm sure Milo's plan will be to work the body. He's known for being a good body puncher. And Eubanks has worked tremendously hard on his abdomens, as you can see.
Walters Walters. Kid Milo at the moment, all hustle and bustle. And Eubank, in contrast, little slip. Tries to just sort of take a round just to get the feel of the ring, suss his opponent out. Eubank caught him with the left.
Good shot as well, Milo took it well. Tremendous concentration on the face of Eubank. Milo doing all the things right at the moment, staying composed, not getting too ambitious to try and knock Eubank over early. Just keeping himself together and trying to feel his way into this opening round of the contest.
Not a bad opening round for Kid Milo by any manner of means, Jim.
Good round, good right hand there from Milo as well, just keeping Eubank on his toes.
So we're back in the Eubank corner. Here's his record from Boxing Weekly, unblemished. And if you're wondering who's ranked ahead of him, well, a trio comprising Harold Graham, Nigel Benn and Michael Watson. And gives you an idea, Jim, just how strong the middleweight division is in this country.
Yeah, we've been blessed with good middleweights down the years, and now's no different as we go into the 90s. And, you know, Chris Eubanks is billed as simply the best, and if he proves it, he's going to be a very wealthy young man. Because, you know, there could be tremendous fights in that division.
Milo's record, not as good as Eubank by any means, but more than respectable.
And also, you've got to remember, this is a title fight, and Milo's going to probably fight above anything he's ever fought before.
You can bet on that. You can bet on that. Scheduled for 12, Eubank, the champion in white. Milo, the challenger.
Well, a little bit of needed prepping at the end of the first round, so we'll see how it takes off in round two. Not toasting. And I think either man's making about 12 rounds at the moment.
Eubank giving a sort of look to Kid Milo that a tiger reserves for its dinner.
Jolting right uppercut there from Eubank.
I think Larry O'Connell would call break, actually.
Yeah, I think I might be right. That's actually the best shot in Chris Eubanks' repertoire. He really has got it off to an art. It's a great shot.
Double wrestle to the canvas.
Come on, kid!
Eubank's boxing very, very smart tonight, and he's got off a lot quicker than he normally does. Showing great hand speed, and Milo looks a little bit confused early in the going.
In his own way, Eubank can be just as unorthodox as Johnny Nelson, but my goodness, he can be such an exciting fighter when he slips into gear.
This is a good performance from Chris Eubank so far. He's doing everything right, everything that's asked of him. Not getting nailed and just picking his shots. This is a long fight, a 12-round fight, and Milo's been around a while. He's a great performer. So it's a real classic. One thing you've got to remember about Kid Milo, one of the great results on his record is the fact that he's drawn with my stablemate, Errol McDonald, who's undefeated amateur and professional, so you know, this guy can fight.
Yes, the one blemish on McDonald's record. Yeah, started off as a welterweight.
That's right.
Milo. You can, when you consider he's come up from, was it 10-7 to 11-6.
He's up there with the big boys there.
Fought light middle as an amateur when he was with the Ladywood Amateur Boxing Club
Corners,
in Birmingham.
10 seconds.
Won an area title at
Seconds out. Round 3.
Notice working in Kid Milo's corner also from Birmingham, the former British heavyweight champ Morris Notice, so he ain't short of good advice. Eubank's beginning to tell very early in this fight. He's getting through some jolting counters as Milo makes an aggressive move. Head and body.
Remember, Milo stopped just the once in his career.
Good shot, he caught Eubank there, left hook to the belly.
That's the one thing that worries me about Eubanks, if he were to fight someone like Ben, is you can catch him, and if you're a hard puncher and you catch him, well, who knows what would happen.
Time will tell. But the one thing you've got to say about Eubanks at this moment in time is no one knows how good he is. You know, the guys can obviously fight. He's 22-0, that don't come by luck. Plenty of ability. It's going to be very interesting to see how things materialise. Milo's getting a little bit ambitious and he's starting to reach with punches, which could be a big mistake. Run onto something. Starting to reach for punches.
The left clipped him up short there. One thing being confident, another being overconfident, because Eubank can take you out with a single shot.
Well, Eubank is dangerous. You catch you coming in. Make no mistakes, as Chris would tell you, he's called a Kenya. Right hand pulled Milo up short there. Milo coming back and a couple of good body shots of his own though. And they're getting a warning from now.
Eubank spins on his heels, saunters back into his corner. Ronnie Davis leading him in.
Now, they've got a good relationship, Ronnie Davis and Chris Eubank. They've worked together ever since he turned professional. I think they come back to Brighton anyway, and you know, they work well together. Good little team.
A lot of people, as we look at Kid Milo, a lot of people have accused Eubank of being arrogant, but I guess the other side of the coin is when you're as good as he is, you've got a lot to be arrogant about.
Yeah, it goes back to what we were saying. He's 22-0. He feels in his own mind he's the best, and there's not a lot of fighters who get to the top who ain't arrogant. You know, a lot of world champions are arrogant. Eubank's obviously got it in abundance.
And he can only improve. He's just turned 24 back on August the 8th.
You know, he's still got this fight to win. Kid Milo's going to give it everything. So Eubank's got to keep his mind on the job of winning tonight and forget about the Nigel Benz of this world. Michael Watsons and Mel Grahams and whoever you care to name in the middleweight division.
Stop boxing, stop boxing, stop boxing.
When I was trying to picture the scenario of this fight in my mind, I see Eubank's winning, but having to come through a couple of rough patches on the way.
Low blow.
Maybe that's one of the rough patches. This guy can bang to the body, there's no question about that. Kid Milo.
That was on the borderline.
I think he's got to try and take Eubank out of his stride. He's got to make things get to Eubank. He clipped him on the chin there with a good left hook. And things are starting to heat up now. Got through there with 3 solid shots tonight.
Milo cut on his left cheek. That was surprising. He glanced at the referee there. I don't know why. Maybe Milo thinks it's a worse cut than it is. It's not a bad cut. On his left cheek. High on the left cheek.
He took 3 solid shots from Eubank there. Hang on. One thing's for sure, it's been a very good fight so far. Very competitive.
Cut on the eye too now.
Yeah,
Milo.
this ain't going to go the distance.
Left cheek, left eye. Cut bad.
And Eubank knows it.
Nasty cut. No way this fight's going to go 12.
No, Milo's getting desperate now. He's going to really try and knock Eubank out for sure. Eubank to stay cool. He knows the game.
Milo complaining to Larry O'Connell that Eubank's using his head.
Good shot. Yeah, he's really trying to take Eubank out of his stride now. But Chris is very, very composed, very cool. Got the ice bag on, and that's all part of the learning process. Good to see Chris stay cool under pressure.
It's a vicious cut Milo's got. And as Jim says, the Birmingham boy knows it. He knows that eye's not going to hold up 12 rounds. We're going to see some work in the Milo corner now. Eubank showboating to the crowd. Now, there you go. Cut on the cheek. Now, you can forget that's all right. Nothing wrong with that. That's not going to impair his vision at all, but that's the one.
Yeah, that looks a terrible cut. I was having a real close look at that. There's the head clash. But I was going to say earlier, the way Milo rushed in, there's always that possibility of that happening to either fighter. Chris gets his head down. Fortunately for Chris Eubanks, it's Milo's come off worse.
I've got a feeling
But he was doing the rushing, Kid Milo.
I was going to say, John, I've got a feeling that the accidental clash of heads caused the cut on the cheek, not the cut on the eye.
Oh, right. But I think Milo's going to get desperate now. It's going to make the fight exciting because he knows he ain't going to go 12 rounds with that cut, and he's going to be looking to take Eubanks out. It's going to make for some explosive action. So you don't want to make too many mistakes because Eubanks is a sharp finisher. He's really trying to rough Eubanks out of it now, trying to break his composure, which is good tactics on behalf of Kid Milo. He's obviously listening to whatever his corner are telling him and carrying it out to the letter.
The eyes opened up again. Must admit, I'm a little bit surprised that the corner seemed to concentrate first on the cut on Milo's cheek and dealt with that first before dealing with the cut on his eye.
I don't think Larry O'Connor's going to let this go too far.
No.
He's got out from Eubanks again. So it's very, very difficult for Kid Milo, you know. This is a title fight. He knows he's badly cut. He knows it's almost impossible for him to go 12 rounds. So he's going to make a lot of mistakes. Eubanks enjoys that.
That was pure defensive class, that.
The frustration on Milo's face.
I think if this hadn't been a title fight, Larry O'Connor would have stopped it by now.
He's keeping a close eye on Milo. He's really looking at him at all times, and I'm sure
he's giving him every chance. And Milo, to his credit, is trying to take it. But he's up against a very, very good opponent.
And Eubanks is looking very sharp tonight, I must say, very sharp. Slipping shots, coming back with fast counters of his own. He's found Milo one or two good body shots. He just slowed Milo down a little bit as well.
Nigel Benn was supposed to be here tonight. He's elected to stay away. Read into that what you will.
Interestingly enough, Ambrose is here, who's Nigel's agent, so who knows. What a fight that'd be for the British fans.
Well, they'll have to settle his differences with the border control first, unless they're going to fight overseas. And if they did, that would be tragic, because, as you say, Jim, that is a fight that would fill any arena in this country. It's a fight that every boxing fan in Britain would want to see. Give Milo every credit. He's doing his damnedest to take the fight to Eubank, and Eubank still finds time to sort of acknowledge people in the crowd, grin at his friends.
He's enjoying it. I think Barry earned a wink there. Barry's sitting ringside, and Eubanks was almost annoyed that Kid Milo had stuck his nostrils on his shoulder at the end of that round.
That's a man's game, Jim.
You've said it.
There you go. Those are the two injuries that are hampering Milo at the moment. Good cuts, man. Worth his weight in gold at a time like this, Jim.
Very much so. I know you've seen him win titles. I'm not saying that Kid Milo's going to win the title tonight, but his corner is certainly a chance to do just that.
And every cutsman works with the same equipment, one in 1,000 adrenaline, and a jar of Vaseline, but something worked wonders with that. Hasn't got his gum shield, I don't think. He has now. Eubank yawns. What's this all about? Now that's I've got to give 0 out of 10 to the Milo corner there, letting the man go on without a gum shield. Even despite all the hurly-burly and the excitement, somebody's got to keep a cool head.
Eubanks is really buzzing tonight. I don't think I've ever seen Chris quite this sharp. He really does look sharp. Milo's tried to take Eubanks out of his stride, but you know, full credit to Milo for trying to attack it. It's the right thing to do. But I've got to say, it hasn't really worked. Chris has really stayed together, stayed cool and composed. He's just picking everything and working behind a real solid-looking left hand.
The good news for Milo is the cut on his cheek isn't getting any worse. The bad news is that the eye still bleeding quite freely. Oh,
He's in
the
trouble
right
now.
hand, the legs have gone. Eubank looks at Larry O'Connell saying, well, you're going to stop it or not?
I think Eubanks might regret that if Milo comes back into it. He could have stepped in and finished the job there.
I don't think Milo can believe his luck. Finish the job, somebody behind me shouting. Well, that was stupid on Eubank's part.
Very much so. He had the fella out on his feet, and he really should have went in and landed the 1-2-3, which was a forced Larry O'Connell to step in and stop the fight.
Glorious right-hander, right flush on the side of the jaw. Milo helpless on the ropes, and what does Eubank do? Walks away. Well, more fool him.
Let's hope we don't live to regret it.
I don't think he will somehow, Jim, because Milo's eye looking worse by the second as this sixth round progresses.
Sure, it's only a matter of time before the referee stops this contest. He's badly cut now, and well behind, and Chris is absolutely buzzing. Treating him with contempt, which, as I said before, if you're going to be a champion, the arrogance, the contemptness, call it what you like, you've got to have it. Chris Eubank has got it in abundance. But he really could have ended the fight there, Dave, you know. Tremendous right hand, and Milo was gone.
Come on, Chris! Go! Right enough the check, Chris.
We'll take another look at that right hander at the end of this round, presuming that the fight is still alive at that time. Milo waving Eubank forward. Brave man. It's getting a little bit silly there. That looks very bad.
Yeah, really no way back from that. It's a terrible cut in a fight against a man of Eubanks' class. It's hard enough without the injuries. But now things are really looking desperate. And it's behind as well.
Now let's take another look at that incident early in the round. Now, bang, there goes the right hand. And Milo is gone. And what does Eubank do? Stands off. Jim?
Well, I think Eubanks has probably watched a few Ali clips, because I've seen Ali do that in a few of these fights. And Eubanks really should have went in and unloaded there, and the fight would have been all over now. Chris could have been back and enjoyed his pineapple juice, as he called it. He says, cane the man and get home, but that was his opportunity there.
But Milo still with us, round 7. And as Jim says, Eubank could be made to regret that bit of inactivity. He could get cut himself and stopped, get caught with a punch. Anything can happen while this fight is still in progress.
And we've seen stranger things happening in the fight then. It was a basic 1-2 combination that really done the damage. All the flashy hooks and uppercuts. It was a basic, right back to when you first start boxing, 1-2. And Kid Milo was in big trouble. Sheer gamesmanship, you've got to take your hat off to Kid Milo. He's really stuck to his guns, and he's still firing for that title. He really does want it, and that's what's making it such a good fight. And Eubanks, for his behalf, his concentration's been absolutely impeccable.
Milo's face now, a gory mask.
Again, a good stiff jab from Eubanks.
That's it. He's having the eye wiped down. Hasn't stopped it yet. Getting the ringside doctor over. But I fear from Milo's viewpoint, is he going to let him go on?
He's letting it go.
Letting it continue.
Right,
Well, the writing's surely on the wall now for Milo. I reckon Larry O'Connell will give him maybe this round and one more to see what he can do. So Milo, at best, has a round, maybe 2 at the outside,
you know,
to try and stop. Chris Eubank.
This is a title fight, Dave, and that's what's keeping him in the fight. I'm sure Larry O'Connell's going to give it another round, so keep a close watch on it, obviously. But Milo's getting desperate now, and rightly so. You know, he knows it's nearly all over for him.
Eubank in no hurry. He knows that he's as good as got this fight won now. Looking at Larry O'Connell, as if encouraging the ref to stop it. This corner yelling, concentrate, concentrate. Well, you could say that Eubank showing a humanitarian concern for his opponent, but when the fight's going like this, you've got to do the business, you've got to be professional.
You know, Chris Eubank has gone on record as boxing's barbaric, and maybe he wants his fight to be stopped as an advertisement for what he's been quoted as saying.
Now you can see there Ronnie Davis getting a bit angry with him, for losing concentration. And no matter what you might feel, however sympathetic you might feel to your opponent, Jim, this is your profession, and you go out and do the job in hand.
That's right, you know. Chris, inside, it's crazy to say, we're all professional fighters. He'll be well pleased with the way the fight's going. You know, he's got the guy in trouble, and the guy's cut, and it's a winning fight for Chris Eubank. You know, you can show a little bit of compassion, but deep inside, you're just glad it's him and not you. And that's the old facts of professional boxing.
I don't think Larry O'Connell is going to let it go much beyond, say, the 8th or 9th, Jim. 9th at the outside, we shall see.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's actually gives the message to Milo that he'll give you another round. You know, that cut, it's only worse than if someone wants to step in, because he's fighting on desperation now. But, you know, let's take our hat off to Milo, you know, a real professional. Stuck to his guns all the way through against a world-class operator. And at no stage has he wanted to quit or get out. He's really tried to take the title from Eubank. And in a title fight, that's exactly what you've got to do. You've got to go for it. He's starting to ship 1 or 2 shots now. Eubank is getting very, very accurate. Eubank would like to end it in style, obviously.
Eubank hasn't hardly wasted a punch in this contest. There's a surgical precision about them. And all you have to do is look at poor Kid Milo's face to realise quite how hard and how accurately Eubank punches.
Good shots from both fighters there. The quality stuff was really coming from Eubank's 3 short stuff, but the quantity was coming back from Milo. He'll take away after this fella.
The eye bleeding freely, as it has done for the last 3 or 4 rounds.
I think it's all over now. It's a good decision by the referee.
That's it, as we suspected he would.
It's nice to see all the comradeship has been brought back in there. Both guys touch gloves. Good decision by Larry O'Connell. And a good performance from Chris Eubank.
That's the mark of a really top-class referee, Larry O'Connell. He gave Kid Milo every chance. He realised this was a title fight. He realised that Kid Milo might not well ever get another chance like this, Jim. He gave him every opportunity.
He gave, you know, I'll take me out of Kid Milo. He's come in and he's really took the challenges, attitude. He's took the fight to Chris Eubank. He's made the fight and he's really made Eubank's box above himself tonight. It was a great performance from Chris Eubank. But he was pulled out of him by the performance of Kid Milo.
And of course you can't help but wonder where next for this man and who next. It's his 3rd successful international middleweight title fight. Remember, we saw him win it against Hugo Porti at the York Hall and defend it against Eduardo Contreras here in Brighton.
Ladies and gentlemen, then, in 1 minute and 26 seconds of the 7th round, the referee has stopped the contest. Kid Milo having sustained a very badly cut eye. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner and retaining the title, Chris Eubank.
You know, you've got to say from Kid Milo's point of view, he's had his chance at the title, and you know, he'll probably ask himself where he goes from here. And from Chris Eubank's point of view, he'll go up and up, and I'm sure he'll be looking towards the world title shot. Well done, Kid Milo.
And guess who I see at ringside? I do see Nigel Benn. Now I see Ambrose Mendy doing a Nigel Benn impersonation. I tell you, that'll be quite some thought for Ambrose Mendy.
I'm sure they'll interview Ambrose, and it'd be interesting to hear his opinion on the possibility of the match.
International belt from the steward in charge, Bill Martin, goes to Chris Eubank.
Bill Martin, an old mate of mine, former journalist, now a steward of the British Boxing Board of Control, buckling the International Championship belt around Chris Eubank's waist. And Ambrose Mendy looking very thoughtful.
I wonder if he's saying, let's get it on. I'm sure Nigel would love it.
Right, look at a terrible gash on Milo.
And Chris would look forward to it as well with great anticipation.
And Milo thinking, if only, if only.
He's looking at that belt, yeah, and I know what's going through his mind, you know.
Well, you've been in that situation, Jim.
Yeah, you dream of taking that home, right from when the guy gets in.
Ladies and gentlemen, your appreciation for both boxers, if you will. Thank you very much indeed. And ladies and gentlemen, once again for the loser, Kid Milo. And for the winner, Chris Eubank, ladies and gentlemen. And a reminder, we still have 2 contests to go. 2 more contests for you.
Talk to Chris first and then come to you.
So we're going to hear from Chris Eubank, still the champion.
We almost got the feeling, though, that you were glad for his sake that that was over.
The fight should have been stopped 3 rounds ago. I was very disappointed with the decision there.
We noticed you hit him with a thunderous right a couple of rounds from the end and then didn't follow it up.
As I said, he's not in my class. I didn't want to hurt him anymore. The referee should have stopped it. I asked him to stop it 2 times. He wouldn't. He's a good referee, but I think the decision should have came a lot earlier. Ambrose Mendy's standing right here. I want your boy. He belongs to me. He's mine.
Well, Ambrose Mendy is standing here. I don't know if we can get in front of the camera, Ambrose, if you just come round. How do you respond to that sort of challenge?
You know, Nigel Benn, if he was here, would say, as Prince Charles once said, you know, quoting somebody more famous, when I was a child, I played with childish things, but now I'm a man. Nigel certainly isn't a boy. We've spoken to Barry Hearn. We've been inundated with requests for this fight, and the criteria is that we want a hefty guarantee. I think it's a fight which could earn Nigel Benn £1 million sold correctly, and there's no better person to sell it than Barry Hearn. It's a fight which the public seem to want. I've seen nothing here to overly impress me. I had a higher belief in the skills of Chris before I came here. But, you know, we're going to get you.
You're not going to get Sugar Ray Leonard, that's for sure, are you?
Well, you don't know. You don't know. We're in conversation. We have an announcement to make on Monday of next week. But, you know, my idea is to earn Nigel optimum earnings, and that's what I propose to do. I'm going to sit down, I'm going to speak to Barry, but I was very disappointed with the way Chris fought tonight. I was expecting to come out, and he quite rightly says he was asking the referee to stop the fight. I agree he was, but...
All right, let me just put that to Chris, who's very disappointed in your performance tonight.
Disappointed. I stopped working from 3 rounds earlier because I had already beaten the man. I was waiting for the referee to stop it. How could you say such a thing? That's ludicrous. Let me just say this. You had your time. Let me have mine, OK?
I think we better just bring Barry in here because he's been mentioned. Barry, are we going to get this confrontation? Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank?
I don't think it's anything to do with us. I think it's a fight the public are demanding. And our responsibility as fight promoters and people involved with the fight game is to give the public what they want. Nigel Benn's got to fight in England. We're not having just watching him on the television, and my man's ready to take him on. I'm prepared to back him. We're talking to Ambrose Mendy. I hear all these stories. We'll come up with enough money.
You called Nigel's WBO crown a paper crown. There's a lot of money in it, though.
Yeah, it's a paper crown on today's standards. This is nothing to do with titles. This is about 2 men who are both proud athletes that want to find out who's the better man on the night. And I know, and Ambrose Mendy knows, there's going to be several thousand, tens of thousands of people want to see the fight, and tens of millions of people in this country want to watch the fight. So we've a responsibility to get it on. It's got to happen.
Chris is dying to say something else. Go on.
This man has been watching me for at least a year and a half. He's watched my fights close. I've watched him on tapes watching me, right? You know I can take your boy. You're petrified, and I know you are. Your boy's mine. It's done. It's a foregone conclusion.
Should I tell you what? You know, I'm quite lucky because I'm a lot prettier than you are, but let me tell you something this. Nigel will teach you to fight and I'll teach you to talk. Come and see me afterwards and I'll get you a post-ring career.
All right, I think the referee had better step in here and stop this before it gets more serious. Thanks for...
Oh, I don't know about you, Jim. I can't wait. They talk a good fight, don't they?
There's only one thing, as they'd say in America. Let's get it on.
So Ambrose Mendy, Barry Hearn and Chris Eubank firing the opening shots. It'll happen, you better believe it. We're going to take another short pause and we'll be right back here at the Brighton Conference Centre.